You're busted.
Hi, everybody.
Everybody help! Mike's lost his mind!
What have I done? What did I do? Welcome to Super Breakfast Friends Club. What did I do?
They didn't hear it. We weren't recording at the time, conveniently enough.
It sounds like you can't prove a thing.
I know what happened.
What happened?
I'll get the evidence.
What happened? Go on. Tell us.
Mike's saying crazy words in crazy orders again.
That's normal. Welcome to Super Breakfast Friends Club, the show where we watch this today. Play the theme song.
Oh no! I can't believe this is happening.
What? You love this show.
I don't. I really, really don't. I have conflicting opinions about this. Because despite how cheesy the live action segments are, I actually kind of like them. I feel like society is poorer without this kind of content having a place. But the cartoon is stinky.
So this is video power for anybody who... I don't remember if the opening ever says that at any point.
It doesn't want us to know.
I mean, nobody cared about this show enough to keep track of when it aired, so I don't know exactly when this aired. The best I can find is that it was probably October 1990. But that's only based on some of the commercials. Because we have what we watched is a recording. I'm assuming it's the first airing of it. It aired in syndication, so this was recorded from a local channel, and it appears to have been recorded from Fox 29, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
I was enjoying the commercials more than most of this.
I think I like the commercials more than the show, yeah. But anyway, here we are. We open with Johnny Arcade skateboarding into his room, beatboxing badly.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I think he's just a little bit too old for the role we need here.
You think?
I think so. I think they needed somebody a little bit younger.
Maybe.
And more relatable.
Like an actual child.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he is a teenager. I think he's genuinely a teenager here, but
he
maybe...
probably is, but it was the 80s/90s. They looked older back then.
That's true. Everybody looked older back then. He comes in and starts playing pinball, but he's looking at the camera and talking to us while he's just randomly mashing the flippers. And it takes him a little while to notice that he lost. Did you see that?
Yeah, but he did genuinely hit the ball once while not looking.
He did. I was impressed that he was... Because at first I was like, maybe there's someone off screen who's actually controlling it. Because it looked like he was winning when he wasn't looking. And I was like, someone else must be doing it. But then he loses and continues playing. So I was like, okay, no, he can't see what's going on.
I think he was able to accurately gauge the first one before he stopped looking.
He finally looked back, saw that there was no ball in there, and then he was like, ah!
Guess I better talk about the video games.
But it's funny, like, pinball, even at the time, I don't think pinball was particularly out of date. Like, I was still playing pinball in bars after this.
In bars when you were 4 years old?
Yeah. No, genuinely. My mom used to work at bars, so I was in bars a lot.
Just don't let him drink too much this time. He got a little sloppy.
I mean, I don't know if we've ever talked about this in the show, but I've never been a drinker. I don't drink. I'll like try stuff. So every now and then I'll try some alcohol and then I'll go, ew, and I won't have any more because I just don't like the flavor. But I also think a big part of me not really being interested in drinking is the fact that I was so often around drunk people when I was a kid. And I was always sort of like, oh, these people are really sad.
See, I feel like I had the opposite experience where my family was very against alcohol. And so I grew up like with this forbidden fruit. I gotta try it.
It was never forbidden for me. I was actually encouraged by my family to drink, and I just wasn't really interested. So anyway, he's telling us about how pinball is old-fashioned and outdated. But now, pinball's coming back because you can play it on your Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah, I don't have to leave my house. That's the part I'm interested in.
Well, this is just a promotional spot for Pinball Quest, which I had never heard of. Had you ever heard of Pinball Quest?
Nope.
Nope. It's apparently developed by Tose? I don't know how you pronounce that. It's published by Jalico. This failed to sell me on the game, but when I looked it up, the first thing it said was that it's a pinball RPG hybrid, and that did interest me, but Johnny Arcade never mentioned that.
He did. That was the part that I was interested in. So, like, there's the basic ones where, like, you're on a golf course and you're whacking moles.
Yeah, he starts with the mini games, and then he talks about, like, they clearly thought the mini games is what was really going to entice people, and then he just sort of tacks on the main quest at the end as a... But he didn't make it sound like an RPG. He made it sound like... to me, it sounded like it was just like Kirby's Pinball Land.
I don't know anything about Kirby's Pinball Land.
Oh, you should. It's great. I play it to this day. I have it installed on my 3DS, and I'll sometimes play it when I'm, like, out and about. It's really fun.
But, like, he finally shows the footage where you're playing pinball in, like, a castle courtyard, hitting monsters, and he's talking about how you have to, like, buy bumpers and balls to proceed.
Your weapons are silver pinballs. Use them to score points and collect gold. The more gold you collect, the more things you can buy. You need to buy extra stoppers and flippers to get through the castle. Great game.
I wasn't listening anymore by that point, I guess.
Well, then that's a failing on your part, not Johnny Arcade.
I'm blaming Johnny Arcade for not keeping me engaged. He was talking about the circus. He was talking about golf. I don't want to play pinball golf. How do you make... That's the one way to make pinball worse, is to put golf in it.
Do you think this sweet, elderly teenager in the 90s knew how to cater to a brain-rotted 2026 mind?
No. But I don't think he knew how to cater to my pristine 1990 mind either. Because this wouldn't have done
mind doesn't exist, Mike. It's the year 2026, I keep telling you.
I was 5 when Johnny Arcade said these words. At least I think so. That's my best guess. No, wait, 1990? I guess I was 4, yeah. But I wouldn't have played this game. But I would have regretted it. I love pinball. Pinball's great. But you put golf in my pinball, I don't know what's wrong with you.
That's why you go for the RPG and you fight a skeleton as a pinball. Like I've always wanted to do.
I didn't know about the RPG because he turned off my brain with the golf.
That sounds like a you problem.
Oh, Johnny Arcade, I'm coming to your house to discuss this.
And I'm coming to your house after school.
What's his real name? Stiv something?
I have no idea.
It was something like that.
I wasn't stalking him on social media like some of us.
He's still acting. He's well, prominent's not really the word, but he's an actor.
He's in my favorite laxative commercial.
He was in a television show. I forget which one. But he was in it. We learned about it last time we watched this, which was probably like
5 years ago.
Anyway, it's time for the Video Power Edge. These are my favorite parts because they just They just read some stuff out from a magazine, and they clearly, it's very obvious that Johnny Arcade doesn't really know what he's talking about.
I don't know. I like this part because I'm like, yeah, I don't know how people got the information they did back in the day when information traveled as slowly as it did, and you had to read Nintendo Power, or else people are going to tell you that Mew is under the truck.
Johnny Arcade got it from Game Players magazine. He says so.
I don't even know what that is.
Me neither, but every tip he gives in this whole episode, he's like, this tip comes from Game Players magazine, and I'm like, thanks. Thanks, Johnny. Is this a sponsored bit? Because
it's
don't
sponsored
show
by Tiger Electronics and Game Players magazine, because that's all the commercials.
No, there's no commercial for Game Players magazine. That's the thing. He says the name Game Players magazine, and I looked it up, and it is a real magazine. But they never show the logo. They never show the cover. It would make sense for this to be like promotional for the magazine, but they don't do enough for me to believe that that's what's happening. I think they're just stealing content from the magazine and they're just throwing the name in there because they feel
hoping
like it
that they don't
clears
find
them.
out.
No, I think they're just like, well, we credited you. But this tip is for the game Super Glove Ball, which I'd never heard of.
Because it's for the Power Gloves that 5 people in the world had.
It's one of 2 games ever made for the Power Glove. The other one was Bad Street Brawler, apparently.
Johnny Arcade is on the cutting edge, and we can only dream of keeping up with him.
This game was made by Rare and published by Mattel.
That's weird.
Yeah. But we noticed this, and it's true in this episode as well. Because I went back and I looked through the notes for the first episode just to remind myself what happened. And we noticed in the first episode, or I did at least, that Rare were all over it. They were constantly talking about stuff that Rare made or worked on. And it's the same with this episode, and I don't know why.
You keep talking about things that happened 4 years ago, like anybody remembers us ever watching this show.
People are gonna watch the playlist, and they're gonna watch these 2 episodes back to back.
No, they're not allowed. You're not allowed to access our back catalog if you didn't listen to it when it came out. Sorry.
You say as we're watching a 30-year-old recording of a TV show.
That's different. That's not our podcast. Okay. Those are the rules of the podcast.
But that's the thing, like, if to us, yeah, these 2 episodes are like 4 years apart. But to somebody who's in the Video Power playlist that will exist once this episode goes up, it's going to seem like, you know, we recorded them like back to back, and they're going to be
nary a day has passed.
Yeah, they're not going to understand why we don't remember anything that happened in the first one. So that's why I looked back at my notes this time. I don't usually do that. But
no, it takes away the fun.
Felt like I needed
That's why you seem so prepared, because you've done homework.
I always
something
do homework.
I refuse to do.
Yeah, you've never done a research in your life.
No, you do the research, but I'm talking about you consulted your own notes.
Oh, I see. You don't like that?
No.
You don't like that I have remembered things that happened in the past?
That doesn't count as remembering. You had to read it.
Anyway, it's almost time to watch the Power Team. Johnny tells us exactly what's going to happen so that we won't be surprised by the plot when it starts. But first there's commercials, and I want to talk about the commercials, because there's plenty of local ads here, because it's a syndicated show on a Minneapolis local channel. It's full of local ads, and I love that stuff. But first we get some ads for Tiger Electronics baseball games. Did you ever have any of these?
We had some kind of silly little handhelds. I don't remember what, though.
I actually had one of these not one that they showed here. I had the Sonic 3 one, but it was that exact thing. Like the layout, the buttons and everything was exactly the same. It was just a Sonic one instead of whatever. This first ad, every ad break starts with an ad for Tiger Electronics handhelds.
Yep.
And this first one is about specifically baseball games, and they've got voices. I never knew that they made ones that had voices. I don't think I would have liked it.
What, do you think there's a demon stuck inside there?
I don't like that voice. Play the voice.
Bucks, batting lead, batting average .330. Jackson, home run.
I love that speak and spell voice. I love it. It's so cheesy. I love it when it's used in electronic music. It's my favorite. Let's get all text-to-speech voices to sound like that again.
I mean, yeah, it's better than any other text-to-speech voices that we have right now. I hate the ones we have right now.
All those horrible ones you hear in TikToks.
Yeah. Picking my puppy up from daycare.
I know exactly who you're doing, too, and I hate it.
Yeah, I hate that voice. Then we have, it can't be, but this blonde woman who walks in, looks and sounds exactly like Diane from Cheers.
Those harassing phone calls just won't stop.
It can't be her. I can't believe that it's her, but it looks and sounds exactly like her, and she's complaining about phone harassment. And it's an ad for a local lawyer who I guess is going to help you stop getting spam phone calls.
I noticed that this was before area codes were implemented. I was like, oh, remember when phone numbers were short and cute?
How did you call someone on the other side of the country like that, though?
In 1990, I was not alive and I didn't.
We've just always had area codes as long as I've known what a phone number was here, so I don't know.
I think you have you add a 1 for long distance, but area code is like a more specific thing.
Right. Yeah, because here, as far back as I've been old enough to know my phone number, and I did learn my phone number pretty young. My mum made sure I knew it in case I ever needed it. But it's always been a 5-number area code and then a 6-number regular phone number. And if you're phoning someone else within your area code, you don't need the area code. But if you're phoning someone like a town over, then you're going to need it.
It used to be a 7-digit number, everyone's phone number, but then they added 3 digits for area code.
Yeah, there's a Simpsons episode about it, right?
Yeah.
Where they add the area codes, and then half of Springfield has a different area code from the other half, and it causes all kinds of confusions.
That's basically how it is.
Yeah.
Like, I inherited my brother's phone, which my grandma had bought for him, so my area code is different than the city that I live in. So people are like, oh, you're from there? I'm like, no.
Oh, for like a cell phone?
Yeah.
That's funny, because here cell phones have their own area codes that are completely untethered from the actual towns. I don't even know.
Here it's still tied to where you activated it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because I think all area codes... I might be completely wrong about this. This is just my understanding of it from what I've observed. But all landline area phones here start with a 01. And all cell phone area codes start with a 07. To my knowledge. I guess I should add all of the numbers I've ever had worked that way. There's probably ones that don't. It's so funny to me, this clearly children's show had an ad for a lawyer. And
if debt collectors are knocking down your door, what do you do?
And then that's followed up with an ad for a burglar alarm. Max 7 burglar alarms. I loved this one because it's just a dude. It's just a balding man talking at the camera.
It's just a balding man who's never read a line in his life.
Clearly just an employee of the company that they've sat down in front of a camera.
Statistics seem to indicate that in the next few years you will own a home security system. Why would anyone install a burglar alarm that works after the intruder is standing in your home? It's important to know you have a choice. Mach 7's state-of-the-art computerized alarm has the ability to sound that alarm and stop the burglar outside. Give us a call and let us send you some very interesting and helpful information. Thank you.
But then we get a more appropriate commercial for Tonka RPMs, which I've never heard of.
Whoa! It's cool racing cars!
Yeah, it's just cars and bikes, and you put them in one of those launchers and launch them.
You could do things you never even dreamed of, Mike. The commercial said so.
I've seen toys like that, but I've never seen these specific ones. Actually, I had a Sonic like that I got from McDonald's. You put him in the launcher and launch him. But it was from the Sonic 3 and Knuckles promotion they did when that came out.
Launch him into the fireplace like that twirling fairy.
No, that was Tails. Genuinely, the Tails one was one of those.
Oh, I'm gonna have to find that video again. I laugh so hard every time.
It's that one, and it's the one where the fairy just goes away into the sky and never comes back.
Never comes back.
And the final ad is celebrating 20 years of Hawaiian Punch commercials. I'm not familiar with Hawaiian Punch commercials, but it looked like they were a staple of television in the 90s, maybe, or the 80s, I guess.
I remember that Hawaiian Punch guy. I remember his crazy hair.
Yeah? Is he still around?
I don't know. I don't drink Hawaiian Punch anymore.
Oh, that's really sad. I've never even had... Oh, maybe I did have Hawaiian Punch when I was in Florida. I drank so many weird and wonderful drinks in Florida. And I've spent years chasing that high.
Weird and wonderful drinks, and he's talking about Hawaiian Punch.
I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know what I drank. That's why I've never been able to find it again.
What if you just drank liquid nitrogen?
I don't know. There were these brightly colored drinks, and they were the first time in my life I'd ever seen a sports cap. We didn't have them here yet at the time. They hadn't crossed the Atlantic yet. And these drinks, they had sports caps, and they were some of them were blue, some of them were red. Oh, there's the fairy flying into the fireplace. Thank you, Mel.
You're so welcome.
Everybody, if you haven't seen the video of the fairy, go on YouTube right now. Pause this. Please come back. But right now, go on YouTube and type in "fairy flies into fireplace" and watch it. If you haven't seen it, if you have seen it, you know exactly what we're talking about, and you've probably already had it replay in your mind's eye while we've been talking.
It's only 12 seconds long, and everybody needs to see it.
Yeah. Anyway, now I want to drink some Hawaiian Punch. I don't even know what it tastes like. What does it taste like? Is it good?
So I noticed watching that commercial that said it only uses 10% real juice. So it's very... They're like, it's made with 7 different fruits, 10% real juice. So it's very...
That's really funny. That's like a parody.
It kind of tastes like the color red, the way that blue tastes like blue, you know?
Okay, yeah. But the two drinks that I remember having in Florida, one was red and one was blue. They were very delicious. But I don't know what they were.
They're probably very delicious because half of that container of liquid is sugar.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't doubt it, especially in 90s America. Like, it's got to have been even worse. Like, America, even now, is the worst for loading everything up with sugar. But in the 90s, it has to have been even worse, I'd imagine.
Probably.
Back before anybody cared about their health.
I remember liking Hawaiian Punch. But like I said, it's kind of red as a drink.
Right, okay. It's time for Power Team.
No! This
Play
is
the
the
theme
part
song.
I've been dreading.
Play the other theme song. Can you even call this a theme song? It's just noises.
I mean, what is music but noises?
It's so bad. Like, this opening... This show was made to compete with the Mario Brothers Super Show, right?
And it has it's packed full of the Z-est celebrities you've ever seen in your life.
Also, like, the Mario Super Show also has 2 theme songs, like this does. But they're both bangers.
True.
Like, I'm excited when the Mario cartoon starts and we hear that version of the theme song. I'm pumped. Yeah, they are the Mario Brothers.
And plumbing is their game.
Yeah, and they say they're not like the others who get all the fame. But I think they're the ones who get all the fame. I think this show is the others.
I'm pretty sure the Mario Brothers are the most famous plumbers ever.
You know what? I never thought about it before, but I think that's probably true. I can't think of a single other, not only more famous plumber, but I can't think of another famous plumber. Can you?
Exactly.
Who's a plumber that's famous?
Who's the plumber? Period.
Can't think of a single other one.
Plumbers are the unsung heroes of the world.
I love how during the opening, one by one, each of the characters sort of pops out of Johnny Arcade's computer. And every time it happens, he just sort of leans away incredulously from the computer. There's no like surprise or astonishment or amazement. He's just like, oh, here we go.
Here comes Bigfoot.
Oh, here comes Quirk.
I'm just trying to play a game and they keep popping out of the screen.
So this episode is called Treasure of Bangladar, written by Jack Oleska, who wrote the first episode too. Immediately, I want to say that the title made me nervous right off the bat.
Okay.
Bangladar.
Yeah.
1990.
Oh, it's okay. We don't have to worry about that because the prince is a blonde-haired white boy.
Yeah, so we're at the airport. There's a crowd and the media awaiting the arrival of Prince Ramar of Bangladar, who apparently has a map that people think will lead to the lost treasure of... I genuinely don't know what they said because I feel like they mumbled it every time.
It's rumored Prince Ramar has a newly discovered map that may lead him to the fabulous lost treasure hidden in the ancient tomb of King Tutankhamun.
This show did kind of suffer from some Wing Commander problems of volume, where the music and the sound effects drowned out a lot of the talking.
That's true, yeah. But so off of the plane steps a large black man in a fez and like a very stereotypically like Middle Eastern fez outfit. He's I'd say it. He's just like Abu from Aladdin.
Except for the fact he has pants on, yeah.
And then the second guy who gets off the plane is dressed like a Wall Street businessman, but with a turban on.
No, that is every 1920s explorer that would just go to these foreign countries and be a menace.
But he's wearing like a suit and tie.
That's because he's a scholar.
Yeah. But he's white as the driven snow, is what I'm getting at.
That's why he's a 1920s American explorer.
And then the third one is the prince, who is also a small white boy in a turban. If it wasn't for the turbans, we wouldn't know that these two weren't Americans.
No.
So I realized at this point that this show has a full range of 2 skin tones in its entire palette.
I mean, they can only afford so many colors. Let's not get crazy.
Everyone can be white or black, but there's no brown people.
No. I mean, we should be thankful that we have black people in this show.
That's true. And if it wasn't for Tyrone, he's pretty much holding the fort all on his own. So the prince has a map in a gold medallion around his neck. The power team aren't here. They're watching this on television, which I thought was really funny. Just crowded around in Johnny Arcade's suburban garage watching
around
TV.
This tiny little CRT TV, watching this prince that we have no reason to think is interesting.
And Kuros says that the gold medallion reminds him of the Cross of Sindarin, which is an item from Wizards and Warriors 2, the game series he comes from. And this gave me a flashback. Do you remember when we first saw Kuros? I know you don't. The first time, the first time we saw Kuros, he popped out of a crate of tomatoes and just talked for a while about the lore of his game, unprompted.
Yeah.
That's just his thing.
Yeah, that's the only way we'd know what he's from, because no one played his game.
Yeah, he also doesn't look anything like this in his game. So he's just a suit of armor guy in his game. They turned him into He-Man for this show.
They gave him the sexy lady armor treatment. The better the armor, the less you wear.
It's true. It's so funny to me that his whole thing in this show is that he's the guy who's constantly talking about the lore of his own game.
He wants to go back. Every night, Johnny Arcade sees him trying to force his way back into the screen.
By the way, that gold medallion does not look a thing like the Cross of Sindarin. So he must just do this all the time. Every time he sees a book, every time he sees a magazine or a newspaper, he's like, that reminds me of the Book of Sindarin.
Also, we haven't talked about the fact that this child walks off the plane with a priceless treasure map and immediately announces out loud where he's keeping it.
Well,
to a crowd of onlookers.
Did he say it to the crowd? I thought he just said it to the guy that was
He said it to the guy, but like they're surrounded by people.
I don't know. When you're getting off a plane, you can't hear much else but plane.
I don't think the plane was planing.
That was all planed out.
Yeah.
I think you're right, actually. I don't think there was a single sound effect. I don't think, now that I think back, I don't think the plane made a single sound the entire time it was on the show. Even when it was landing, I think it was silent.
Yeah, the quietest plane ever invented.
I guess that's what you get when you're a prince.
Yeah.
You know how, do you remember in like the 2000s they would advertise cars and they were like, it's the quietest car that's ever been made. No one will hear it coming.
Yeah, and now they have to give noises to electric vehicles because nobody would hear them coming.
I know. And some of the noises, because you can like choose your noises. I remember a couple years ago I heard an electric car that was like singing like a choir of angels as it drove down the road.
That's what they describe it as.
I didn't like it. It was so weird. Because I heard it coming before I saw it, and I was like, what is happening?
The rapture! They were right! Nicolas Cage, you were right!
Oh man, I was watching somebody play Pokemon earlier. It might have been Game Grumps, I can't remember. I was watching somebody play Pokemon and one of their Pokemon got burned and they made a reference to the how to get burned.
Oh, I need to watch that movie again. It's been too long.
Was it The Wicker Man? Is that the one?
It is the remake of The Wicker Man.
Oh yeah,
Nicolas
of course.
Cage, the man, the myth, the legend.
Doesn't count if it's not Nicolas Cage. I've never seen the whole movie. I've only seen that video that you sent me years ago of out of context clips of him just being a lunatic.
Of him punching women in bear suits and screaming about how did it get burned.
Yeah. Like whipping masks off children and then riding away on a bike.
Oh, that movie's unhinged. I love it.
So we also, I was saying about how Kuros is the guy who never shuts up about his own lore. I wrote that down in my notes, and then it's confirmed to be true because Tyrone complains about how he knows all about the relics of Sindarin because Kuros never shuts up about them.
I'm telling you, he's just homesick.
And then we get this lovely little argument about how bad Tyrone's feet stink.
This from one whose greatest treasure is a pair of smelly tennis shoes.
They're not tennis shoes and they're not smelly.
I've known dead dragons that smelled better.
It was really necessary.
Yeah.
I think it moved the plot in a way that we all needed.
You know, it really should have come back at the end, I think.
That's how he should have defeated Spike. Just put a stinky shoe in his face.
Exactly. It was a Chekhov shoe, and they just left it hanging on the wall. So they're watching the TV, and they notice Mr. Big's henchman, Spike, in the crowd at the airport. So they all jump in Bigfoot to head over there. Bigfoot is the monster truck, in case anyone's forgotten. They didn't just jump in a Sasquatch.
What if it was a Sasquatch and everybody just hopped on his shoulders and he ran them there?
I wish it was. I wish it was the Sasquatch from Darkstalkers.
Oh, yeah.
The voice actor plays someone in this. I forget who, but he's in here.
But he's not Sasquatch.
No, he's not even Bigfoot.
It's really rude. I want to be typecast as a Bigfoot.
Okay. If I ever make anything that has a voiced Bigfoot in it, I'll give you a call.
I don't have the stage presence to be a Bigfoot.
Mel, there are so many effects that I could put on your voice.
You want to grind my voice up in like a GLaDOS machine and put it inside a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Oh, you would be amazed at the things I could do to your voice if I so chose. You would be astounded.
Are you gonna make this whole episode me as a Bigfoot?
Listen, I remember when I made you say something by jumping up.
I don't remember what it was, but I remember that.
I believe it was, but what about the legacy?
Oh, that's right.
But I
refused to ask.
I deliberately made it really bad and choppy. Like, I could have actually made it convincing if I wanted to, but then it would have sounded too much like you had really said it, and I wanted it to be clear that you had refused. And that I had...
you could have just clipped it from any other episode.
Yeah. That's the thing. I could have just found an episode where you said that and just clipped the whole sentence, but I was like, no, it would be way more fun if I comb through this entire recording. And I made sure it was an old recording as well, so your microphone quality was bad before we got you a new one.
Remember when you tried to convince me that my old mic sounded fine?
It did to me at the time. I mean, fine for our purposes. Back before we had any money coming in from this. I don't mind using crappy equipment when there's no money coming in. But
that's true.
Now there's money in this show. Now we've got to pull our dicks out.
We got some big investors.
So anyway, Mr. Big's plan. What did you think of it?
I was really confused by this whole entire episode.
Did you understand the plan?
No, actually, I guess I didn't. I kind of assumed he was just trying to get the map and to find the treasure. Is that not it?
No, I mean, this plan to get the map.
Oh, no.
So the idea is Spike is going to grab the medallion with the map in it. Then Mr. Big is going to pick him up in the car, drive him to a blimp, drop him off, and then keep driving so that the police follow him. And meanwhile, Joe, his other henchman, the stupid one, is going to fly the blimp away.
Who looks a bit like Columbo.
He does a little bit. I don't know why Mr. Big wasn't the one driving the blimp. I don't know why Joe wasn't the one driving the getaway car.
Well, he wants his henchmen to feel like everybody's got an equal part to play, you know? He's not just the big, scary, evil guy. He's also a team member, and you can count on him to lead the cops on a wild goose chase while your conspicuous blimp full of stolen goods floats away.
He's doing out of every job that has to happen in this plan, the thing he's doing is the most grunt work.
Right. That's your fall guy that's supposed to be in that car.
Yeah, because he's going to be the one that gets arrested, right?
If it came to that, yeah. The idea, of course, would be to be so good at driving that he loses the cops, but that's not how it's going to go down.
Well, none of it goes down the way the plan is, but anyway.
Not if Bigfoot has something to say about it.
I loved Spike. He, comes up to talk to the prince, and he's, really cordial and nice, and then he just throws a fistful of cash in the air so that everybody's distracted. And it just like snatches it, and he announces that he's gonna snatch it.
You know, it's simple, it's effective.
He just turns to the prince and he's like, "Time to snatch the medallion! I've snatched the medallion!"
It probably only cost him about $15 in singles.
I just love the thought that all of these people are just fully distracted by $1 bills.
But think about this. You could be getting $15 if nobody else is trying to pick it up.
That's way more than 15 people trying to pick them up.
But what if they didn't? What if you steal all of the money and now you can buy a Jamba Juice on your way home from the airport?
That's the American dream.
It sure is.
The power team arrive. Oh, no, wait. We got to talk about Spike leaping into the car.
Before that, though, I want to talk about the fact that even though his bodyguards are always right behind him, somehow, both times this medallion gets snatched, you see them running from somewhere in the distance.
Yeah, well, they see the medallion getting snatched and they have to run back so they can get a run up at the villain. So they can really
gotta
tackle
get
him
some
with some
momentum.
force. Yeah, exactly. You ever tried tackling someone from a standing start? It's hard.
I can't say I've ever tried tackling someone.
Oh, you see, you've never played full contact sports.
I'm sorry, do I look like someone who has ever done a sport?
Yes.
I haven't sportsed once in my life.
Not even once? Not even for PE?
No, they made me do it in PE. But I was not a willing participant.
I had to do it in PE. That's the only time I've done it too. Oh, no, wait. And there was that one week when I was on my primary school's football team. That's a soccer team for you. Have I ever told you about this?
Maybe.
I got drafted into the football team because I was the fastest runner.
You did tell me about this, yes.
And I was on the team for 1 week, and then I was kicked off.
And so you broke all the rules and they kicked you off?
I didn't break the rules, I used them to my advantage.
That's unsportsmanlike behavior.
I learned about the offside rule, and then I was like, I kept getting in trouble. So the rule is something like, I'm probably not remembering it fully because it's been like 30 years almost, probably. Maybe more, I'm not sure. But if you have the ball and you're running towards the goal, you're not allowed to go past the last member of their team. Otherwise, it's offside, and then they have a penalty kick or whatever. So I kept getting in trouble for doing that, and then I was like, well, hold on a minute. That means if they're coming at me with the ball and I'm the last person on my team before the goal, I should just run past them, and then they'll be in trouble for being beyond me. So that's what I did. And it worked out the way I expected it to, but I got in trouble because I was being unsportsmanlike.
Yeah,
and
a little sneak.
But that's, I mean, I felt like I had figured out a good plan.
That's not how sports ball works.
It worked for me. I mean,
you're getting into some Deflategate shit.
I didn't even want to be on the team anyway, so.
I don't want to be on your Tucker team.
I didn't understand the rules. I didn't like the game. I just wanted to watch the squirrels in the woods. My school was right up against the woods, so there were squirrels.
Do that on your own time. It's serious sports ball out here.
It was after school. It was my time.
Yeah. Not if you're commingling your time with sports ball.
I'm going to commingle my balls all over the field in a minute.
That's how you get arrested.
Anyway, what was happening in the show?
Spike took the amulet.
Right, so he dives into the car window. Did that make you laugh as much as it made me laugh?
No, I didn't really pick up on it.
Watch it right now.
I just did. I didn't even think about it.
There's like no animation. He's just horizontal, straight in the window.
In the windy.
It's very good. I really liked it.
There's one part later with what's-his-face and his grappling hook.
Oh my god, no, we'll get to the grappling hook. I've got so much to say about the grappling hook.
Because that was my jumping through the windy moment where I lost it.
Oh yeah, no, that was definitely the better one. Now we have this car chase. There's like 5 police cars chasing Mr. Big's car across this vast concrete wasteland.
It's called an airport.
It goes on forever, and there's nothing in the distance but the horizon.
Yeah, it's called an airport in bumfuck middle of nowhere, probably Kansas.
The biggest airport I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen quite a few airports. Biggest, emptiest airports. Like, there's no other planes taxiing. There's nobody boarding.
I said, it's in Kansas. Do they even have airplanes in Kansas?
Is it in Kansas?
Probably not.
I was gonna say, you convinced yourself that's canon, but I'm pretty sure you just made it up.
I'm not convincing myself of anything. I'm doing it for the bit.
Anyway, so the power team radio into Johnny Arcade, who's watching from his computer. I don't understand why he's even in this show.
He's the guy in the chair. You need a guy in the chair.
Alright, whatever. Mr. Big makes an oil slick. Bigfoot avoids it because Johnny Arcade tells him to.
We call that guck, and he shot it out of his guck hole.
What? Where did that come from?
Pac-Man.
That's right. How do you remember that?
Because it's funny. Because it's weird, and it's called a guck hole.
That really was what they called it too.
Yeah.
I can't believe you remember that. I as soon as you said it, I was like, that's from something else we watched, but I couldn't remember what.
It's all I could think about when I saw that.
So anyway, yeah, the police don't manage to avoid the guck. They go straight across it, skid out.
Because they don't have a magic jumping monster truck.
I guess Mr. Big didn't even leave the airport for this, because his blimp appears to still be in the airport.
Where else are you going to find a blimp?
I suppose. I mean, in 1990, where would you ever find a blimp?
I don't know.
Hadn't we already decided? Oh, I guess blimps are still in use, but not, When you think blimp, you mostly think disaster, I feel like.
Yeah. Is there a meaningful difference between a blimp and a zeppelin?
I don't think so. I think blimps are smaller. I think that's it, really, though. I think they're still just as explosive and flammable.
Probably.
I don't know for sure, though. Let me know in the comments if you do, because I sure don't.
Blimp enthusiasts. Yeah, I know that's our primary audience.
I'm going to have to put blimp in the hashtags so that people know that there's blimp discussion in this episode.
Warning, blimp discussion.
If you or anyone you know is affected by the subject of today's show, you can find some phone numbers you can call in the description for blimp support groups.
Does that mean you have to be a blimp?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of confusion. There's probably a lot of blimps who call in.
True.
Because it's got to be hard to find work as a blimp right now. This economy.
In the year of our Lord, 2026?
Yeah, how many jobs are there for blimps? You got a family to support.
Sporting events to hover over with advertisements.
That's it, right?
There's a pretty big sporting event happening right now.
Which one?
The World one.
World War II?
No, the World Cup.
Oh, that one. Have you watched any of the World Cup?
Don't be silly.
I saw part of one game because my family wanted to watch it when we were in Spain. And nothing happened.
Yeah, it's soccer.
Nobody scored a goal. The whole thing, it was no goals.
That's what soccer is. You're running on paper-thin margins. You get one goal and you're almost assured victory. This isn't football where they have magic stupid numbers and you get like 7 points and you end up with 50 or something. This is soccer.
Yeah. The only sport I ever enjoyed playing was basketball because it was indoors and it was easy. And I was tall, so I could do it good.
So you just cheated. It's not that it was easy, it's that you had an advantage.
I had my God-given rights as a 5'11" man.
Shoot a 3-pointer right now. Show me how easy it is.
I just did it.
I need video evidence.
No, right then I did it.
No, you didn't.
You can't prove it.
That was an AI video.
I am gonna put an AI in your cereal.
Do it!
I did it. I did. I did
okay. Now that Grok is in my honey bunches of oats, I'll just eat around it.
Do you eat honey bunches of oats, or are they just in your head because of this?
No, I eat it every day.
Do you
they're
really?
Very high in they're very high in iron, and I was having all those anemia problems for a while.
Okay, well, we'll get to talking about honey bunches of oats in a little bit.
I felt very represented by that commercial.
Actually, we're practically there. So they get to the blimp, and I guess Mr. Big's plan was to drive away and lead the police away, but Bigfoot just sort of rams his car into the blimp and then chases it aboard.
What I don't understand is Mr. Big gets out of the car and runs inside the blimp. So Bigfoot is only knocking the car with Spike inside.
I didn't notice him getting out and getting it. Okay, yeah, so his plan made no sense at any point, I suppose.
No.
Or he just
what also didn't make
sense plan.
Is Bigfoot knocks the car into the blimp, and I didn't realize that it travels like vertically once it gets inside.
Oh,
like you can see it fly up into the air,
maybe
which
that explains,
almost makes the next scene make sense.
Yeah, maybe that explains the next scene because the next scene didn't make any sense. But anyway, before we get to that, let's look at some more commercials. Because there were some good ones here.
Yeah, we got Ninja Gaiden. It looks just like it does today.
Yeah, a Tiger Electronics version of Ninja Gaiden, by the way. Every section of ads, literally, I'm not exaggerating, literally every ad break in this show opens with a Tiger Electronics game.
It's a video game show. Where else are you going to advertise your video games?
Yeah, and exactly for the same reason, where else are Red Wing Technical College going to advertise their accordion and concertina repair course?
I lost my mind. I was like, when has that ever once been in demand in the history of mankind? You cannot convince me.
It's the most specific college ad I've ever seen. Like, is that the only course they offer? I didn't look them up. Should we look them up right now?
Sure, but you cannot convince me that the late 80s and early 90s were a thriving market of accordions and concertinas.
Well, and it's not a course to learn to play them either. It's just a course to learn how to repair them.
That's what somebody's got to be playing them for you to be repairing them.
Minnesota State College Southeast in 1970. Oh, right. 2 campuses, one in Red Wing, one in Winona. The Red Wing campus is nationally renowned for its string instrument and woodwind and brass instrument repair programs, neither of which is what was being advertised here.
Well, maybe it's just not known for that.
Yeah, maybe there were plenty of people in there learning how to repair string instruments and woodwind instruments. They were like, we really need to recruit more people on the accordion and concertina repair courses.
We're going to lose the program if we don't get more enrollments. Everybody wants to repair guitars because guitars are sexy. Nobody wants to repair your concertina.
It was so specific. And all this footage of people repairing accordions. Oh, anyway, then it's the Honey Bunches of Oats commercial.
Yay, I was so happy. Made me very hungry.
I don't think I've ever eaten Honey Bunches of Oats. It's a weird name, I think, for a cereal.
It has bunches of oats. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's just it just sounds weird. Honey Bunches of Oats? I don't know. Sounds strange to me. Honey Bunches of Oats. Honey oat bunches makes more sense to me. Honey bunches of oats. I don't know.
Honey oat bunches is boring. Honey bunches of oats is fresh.
Honey bunches of oats.
Yeah.
It just doesn't roll off the tongue to me.
It rolls off my tongue and into my stomach.
You're funny. Stop.
Okay.
Anyway, I liked this next ad. It wasn't really an ad. They called it the like children's calendar or something. It was just a sort of rundown on events that were happening in the Minneapolis St. Paul area for kids. And I feel like there's nothing like that now for kids.
I was literally thinking the same thing. Like, how do people know what's going on locally anymore?
I don't know what's going on locally as an adult. Like, every now and then I'll be like, is anything happening in town? But I don't know where to know, you know?
You already know this story, but I took a walk a couple weeks ago, and there's a grocery store nearby. I'm just walking by it, and there's a whole maker's market out front that I just accidentally stumbled into. I was like, how would anybody know this was happening?
Yeah. I can't find... There's stuff like that happening in Dundee, like, every day. But I can't find any place that lists them all. There's a Dundee City Council website that has some things listed, but I know it's not everything. I know it's like... Because they only have, like, a couple things listed a week. And I think it's only the things that the council themselves are running. I don't know where you find out what's going on.
No. You have to follow everybody in the world on social media.
Yeah. But, like, if I was a kid in 1990 living in the Minneapolis area, I'd be watching Video Power, A Common Punishment, and I'd be told that there's a Puss in Boots production happening at the theatre, and there's a toy swap meet happening at the Children's Museum.
I thought the toy swap sounded fun.
I know, I would never do it because I was so attached to my toys. So they describe it as like you can bring your toys to the Children's Museum and swap them for other toys of like equal value. And that sounds really, really cool. Like I said, when I was a kid, I didn't have many toys, so I was very emotionally attached to the ones I did have, so I would never have participated in the toy swap meet, but I think it's really nice.
Yeah, like if some kids have a lot of toys that they don't play with anymore, somebody else can give them a go.
Yeah. Because I grew up in a poor neighborhood with a lot of single mom families. There's a lot of like single moms with one kid on our block. So the ones who were younger than me, I would often, if I'd like grown out of a toy, I would just give it to them. Like I had one of those, you know, those cars, those big plastic red and yellow cars you could get into.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those and I got a little bit too big for it, so I gave it to a neighbor kid.
I hope you at least once tried to fit your giant adolescent body into it, because you have to.
How else do you find out that you're too big for it? That's the
I
only
knew
way to
I was
know.
too big for it, and I still wanted to see if I could fit inside.
Oh,
I couldn't.
I only found out that I was too big for it when I couldn't get back out.
I never owned one. It was my neighbor's, so like I was already too big for it, and I was like, but what if I tried anyway?
The next thing you know, you're standing up, the yellow part has been removed from the red part, and you're now wearing it as a vest.
No, I'm thinking more like that really tall guy in that episode of The Simpsons in his little car. Legs are coming out both doors.
That's what it was like for me, yeah, knees against my ears. Anyway, now there's an ad for a National Arbor Day tree pruning guide that you can send away for free.
Oh boy, can we?
You think there were any kids who saw that and were like, Mom!
I bet there was one child.
You know, I'm thinking back and like as a child, I probably would have seen that ad because as a kid, I was so interested in everything. I had so many hobbies that I had for like a week and then moved on, you know. I probably would have seen that and I would have been like, oh, it's free, and then I would have been really interested in tree pruning for about 3 days.
See, you're the one kid.
Yeah. This final ad, how long before you knew what they were advertising here?
Pretty much immediately.
It's so clear, right?
Yeah.
It's a really good ad.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. Like when he throws the paper at the tree and it shoots up.
Yeah. So it's an ad for Paperboy, the video game. And it's just immediate. All it is, they don't mention the game at all until the very end of the ad. It's just live action footage of a kid riding a bicycle, throwing papers, and like wacky stuff is happening. And it just immediately reads as Paperboy. I thought it was really effective. It was really good.
Yeah.
Must have been fun to film as well.
Yeah, but now we gotta go back to video power.
Aboard the blimp, Mr. Big confronts the power team. And this is where the car is in a... I don't understand how the car got into the position it's in.
Yeah, the car is suspended from the ceiling and shooting laser beams.
Suspended from the ceiling, pointing down.
Yes, not horizontal as one would expect to find a car. It's like a mounted turret.
Yeah, firing laser beams. Don't understand why it's up there. No explanation is given.
It's 'cause Bigfoot pushed it so hard, it flew up into the sky like a fairy that will never descend.
But it would have also had to have turned around, right?
Yeah, that's how physics works.
Okay.
It just does.
Okay. Mr. Big starts throwing cigar grenades. And this is where Max Force pulls out the world's most leisurely grappling hook to gently ascend.
It's so good, though.
It's so slow. He goes up so slowly, and it's the funniest thing in the episode. Because he's just like talking to people as he's really slowly ascending with this grappling hook.
That's why it has to be so slow, because he's in the background while Spike is talking, and we have to be able to hear him as he's slowly ascending, you know?
Also, Mr. Big pulls out a cigar that launches a fist.
Yeah.
That was very funny. That's one of those things where, like, clearly they had written he pulls out a gun, and then S&P were like, oh, no. We can't have a gun in this show.
Grenades are okay, but guns?
The grenades are only okay because they look like cigars, I bet.
But they explode!
Yeah, but they're just exploding cigars. That's just Looney Tunes. The cigar gun that launches a fist really got me. And Kuro just bounces the fist back at him and knocks him straight out through the blimp's fabric wall, where he just kind of dangles for the rest of the time.
Yeah. Well, Quirk harasses Spike by just kind of bouncing around.
Spike manages to shoot Max's grapple line after like 3 tries. He had plenty of time because he was ascending so slowly. And I didn't understand, as Max falls, he has some kind of like... Is it like a
magnetic grip?
Yeah, that he uses to like grip onto the metal beams for no real reason, because he's not involved in the rest.
Fall.
He's not involved in the rest of the fight. It's whatever.
You know who's barely involved in this? Tyrone. He just shows up dribbling a basketball, but he secures the map.
Yeah, he's the one who gets it back and pushes him off the blimp.
That's what I don't get about this show. There's like 2 characters that ever actually do anything.
And it's Quirk and Tyrone.
Exactly.
The 2 who seem the least equipped to do anything. Yeah, Quirk uses himself as a projectile, launches himself into the car window, and just, bounces around until, I don't know. I don't remember how that resolved.
He's just really annoying until Mr. Big gets knocked out of the thing, and he's like, okay, everybody, we gotta go.
Yeah, he falls out of the blimp, and he's dangling from a rope to begin with. And then for some reason, the car Quirk knocks the car down onto the floor, and then Bigfoot pushes it out of the blimp.
Again.
And then when Mr. Big sees the car falling, he just kind of lets go of the rope and falls with it. And then Joe sees his friends all falling and he's like, yeah, I want to fall too. And he jumps out the window.
I'm not going to be the loser stuck with the blimp.
So they're all in the ocean now.
On the famously buoyant automobile.
Yeah. I mean, you saw it flying around inside the blimp.
That's true. It does seem to weigh about 5 pounds.
The power team give the medallion back to the prince, who's apparently now getting a private showing of the museum's mummy exhibit. And at this point, I don't understand why the episode is still happening.
Yeah, I had forgotten. I was like, we're not actually going to see them, like, do anything else, are we?
Yeah, I couldn't believe that there was more plot that we had to sit through. But there was. We're not done yet.
There was. No, they walk into an M.C. Escher painting of a museum.
Right, this museum is just a weird... It almost looks like one of those mazes where you tilt it to roll the ball through, you know?
It looks like there's a minotaur at the center of it.
This is not... I've got so many questions. So, the prince's feeble bodyguards won't allow the power team to accompany him in the museum.
For no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. I think they're just sort of like feeling a bit...
emasculated.
Exactly, yeah. Mr. Big and his goons sneak into the museum through the back entrance. Luckily, Tyrone forgot his basketball at the museum, so they have to swing back to get it. So they notice Mr. Big's car outside. Because Mr. Big takes out the bodyguards immediately and they get the medallion again. These bodyguards are useless.
These bodyguards are useless. This kid is a moron.
The power team break in. They find the prince. He tells them the medallion's been stolen again. They tell him that he has to hide.
When the power team breaks in, they're confronted with this giant metal door. And Max Power has given us this whole spiel about how it must be the security system that's locked it down and blah, blah, blah. And Grognak the Barbarian walks up with his sword. I thought to cleave it in twain, but he smacks it and it just falls over.
Yeah. You can't cleave things in twain on a children's show. You have to hit them and they fall over.
It's a door! It's supposed to be cleft in twain!
I bet that sword is never shown to cut anything in the whole show's history.
It just hits wacky fists back at people.
Yeah. So apparently the map inside the medallion is a map of this museum, which doesn't make
Yeah, that's where the treasure is, obviously.
It's an ancient map, right? Is this an ancient museum?
Yeah, built on the ancient ruins. That's why it looks the way it does.
The ancient Middle Eastern ruins in Kansas.
Yeah. That's why the Bull of Minos is stuck inside.
Mr. Big and his goons are completely lost because they can't understand the map. I wish we got to see the map. I want to know what was so confusing about it.
We don't get to see the map. We don't get to see the treasure.
We don't get to see Carmen Sandiego's masterpiece.
Oh my god, I will never get over that.
No, me neither.
We had to Google it.
Yeah, and even then it was just an artist's impression.
It's like when people give their drawings of the suspect to the police.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like the leprechaun.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Big and his goons are at a dead end where they get cornered by the power team, but then Mr. Big just blows a hole in the wall, which is how all mazes should be solved, in my opinion.
Even hedge mazes?
Especially hedge mazes.
What do you got against
That's exactly
hedge
what I had in mind.
What do you got against hedge mazes?
One of those, like, sort of chainsaw type things for, trimming hedges. You know what they use for making topiaries? Just cut your way through the hedge maze with one of those.
I was in a hedge maze, and you would not have a good time cutting through with a chainsaw, because it's not all hedge, there's also wiring inside.
Well, that's not a hedge maze then, is it? That's a hedge and wiring maze.
No, because the hedges were around the wiring.
That's cheating. You're supposed to be able to walk through the hedges like Homer Simpson backwards.
If it's depicted in The Simpsons, I should be able to do it in real life.
Anyway, Quirk, luckily, his whole game is about mazes. So he takes the lead here. Somehow he causes Mr. Big and his goons to fall into a basement. It turns out the owner of the museum is Mr. Big's pal. So he gets the drop on the power team with a exploding cigar.
I love that his rationale is that being a museum curator doesn't pay anything, but it's like, I'm pretty sure you can't be a museum curator unless you're already deviously wealthy.
Yeah, that's usually how they become a museum curator. Either that or they're paid by the state, if it's a state-owned museum. But, we really don't get any backstory on this museum curator.
No.
Because he's only here for a brief moment, and then a mummy shows up and lays a curse on him.
Surprising no one, it's just a small child.
Yeah, obviously the mummy is the prince, although it fools the curator who runs, and it fools Mr. Big and his goons who run. And then the bodyguards show up and they apologize for being rude to the power team, and they ask them to teach them some moves, and everybody laughs.
The power team's like, do you want some help fighting the treasure? And they're like, no, but teach us how to fight.
Well, actually, I wondered if you would show Hasim and myself, how do you say, some of your moves?
Sure thing, Faisal. And as Johnny Arcade would say, there'll be no charge.
The ending to this episode had the same vibes as the ending to Bad Dudes.
Yeah?
Have you seen the ending to Bad Dudes?
I don't remember.
You rescue the president and then he's just like, let's go get a burger. Ha, ha, ha.
Excellent. That's exactly how that should end. If you're a bad enough dude to rescue the president, you deserve a burger.
Yeah, exactly. So that's I don't, in general, I don't like shows that end with everyone laughing, but
This cartoon is bad.
I can think of one example of a show that ended with everybody laughing that I liked. And it's the
Simpsons.
It's The Simpsons. It's the one where Lisa gets braces, and at the end of the episode, I can't remember what it is they're all laughing about, but they're all standing there laughing in the dentist's office, and then the dentist is like, "Oops, I left the gas on," and then they all start laughing again, and that's great. Now we get some more ads. My favorite part of this show. The ads. Yeah. The local ads.
The local ads for Tiger Electronics.
Yes, this one's just for, the general idea of games that talk, I guess. But it's mostly an ad for Snake's Revenge. And it took me, halfway through the ad to remember that Snake's Revenge is a Metal Gear game. In fact, when I remembered that it was Metal Gear, it was right before the game itself said the words Metal Gear.
Watch out, Metal Gear ahead.
Yeah, it's the best, most famous Metal Gear game. I don't know what you're on about.
Yeah, Tiger Electronics Snake's Revenge. Doesn't sound very much like Snake, I will say. I don't think Snake officially had a voice at this point, though.
I don't think Snake officially goes on revenge quests.
I think it was another 8 years or so before Snake was officially given a voice actor. So this Tiger Electronics game was the original voice of Solid Snake.
Wow. Now we just have this imposter talking about the super baby method.
And the rest of this ad break is all about shows that are going to be on the rest of today.
You mean on Alf?
Channel. Yeah, we got an ad for tonight's episode of Alf. And an ad for tonight's Cosby Show. I thought it was interesting that there's absolutely no sign of Bill Cosby in this ad.
Yeah, this was a Theo Huxtable ad.
Theo Huxtable's porno collection was the focus of this ad.
Softcore porno.
It's a very funny thing to be putting on during children's TV in the morning. Or I guess, I don't know, it was the morning. But we know that it's at some point before 3 p.m. because we get an ad for Club Mario that's coming up at 3 p.m.
Yeah, when I saw that was 3 p.m., I was like, on a weekday? I wouldn't have been home.
Yeah, I don't know if this was a weekday. I don't know what day this was. I do think it's funny, and this happened with the first episode we watched as well. They're advertising Club Mario, which is the direct competition to this show.
Yeah.
And they're like, don't worry, kids, we promise, Mario's coming right up.
Following this is the better version, with characters you actually know.
Yeah. And then an ad for Merry Melodies. I thought it was so funny that they're advertising it as Merry Melodies rather than Looney Tunes. Because it is Looney Tunes. But Merry Melodies and Looney Tunes are technically two separate short series, although they mostly became indistinguishable by the end. So I wonder if this channel only had the rights to the Merry Melodies shorts and not the Looney Tunes ones.
Maybe.
Because I've only ever seen Merry Melodies mixed in haphazardly with Looney Tunes. And they always advertise it as Looney Tunes. That's the one everybody knows.
But are you ready for some sweet game tips?
Oh, are you telling me that it's time to go back to the video power edge?
Oh, I'm always ready to be on the edge of video power.
That's great news because, Mel, I gotta tell you, I've been really stuck on Konami's Ninja Turtles game.
Since the year 1990?
Do you think that Johnny Arcade has any tips that he's read out of a magazine for me?
Oh, he sure does. He tells us all about conserving our missile use.
This is the one where it's most clear that he has no idea what he's saying. And I have no idea what he's saying either. There's one part where he's like,
You've got to get all the energy you can from manhole number 16 before you battle the boss.
It's like, manhole number 16? What are you talking about, Johnny Arcade?
They're clearly labeled. Duh.
There's no way they're clearly labeled. You have to count those manholes manually. I guarantee it.
It was the year 1990, and this was the only thing to do, and it was very difficult, and every little kid was counting those manholes.
The only thing I ever counted was how many times the Special Zone music looped before it started playing the Super Mario Brothers theme. You know about that?
I don't believe that. I don't think you've ever counted once in your life.
I've already forgotten. I think it's like 7 loops. Do you know about that Easter egg?
No.
In Super Mario World? You know, the special world, the secret final world.
Yeah.
That has the hardest levels in the game. If you just sit on the map screen for a really long time, eventually the music changes into the Super Mario Brothers theme song. It's one of my favorite versions of it too.
I have to waste precious minutes of my time to hear a song I've heard so many times I could sing it in my sleep.
You haven't heard this version of it though.
You mentioned the Super Mario World special stage, and immediately I started thinking about the theme from space in Super Mario Land.
Oh yeah, that's great.
It's a very different song.
It's a very different song, but
yeah,
it
is.
It's also great. In the actual game, I think you had to let the music loop 7 times before it starts playing.
It's Mario, all right.
Yeah.
That's him, officer.
I don't even know how we discovered it as kids. I don't know if we had just like wandered off to get a drink or something and came back to that playing. But somehow we found it.
Oh, so you found that organically?
Yeah, we found it organically. You don't have to send me the Star Maze. I know what the Star Maze song is.
I know you do, but I just want you to listen to it. It's good.
It's on my playlist in Nintendo Music.
Heaven forbid I just try to give you a pinch of whimsy in this dark and miserable episode.
Right. No, I'm sorry. I do appreciate it. I love that song. That was the best song in that game by far. And I love most of the music in that game. That game has a really good soundtrack. Yeah, I'll play a bit of the Star Maze for everyone listening. So once we're done hearing tips for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game that I've never played, we get an ad for a Nightmare on Elm Street NES game.
I actually guessed correctly, because they're like, who's the first person you think of when you think of nightmares? It's like, Freddy Krueger!
Well,
And
guess
it
who?
was.
Guess who made this game?
Is it rare?
It's Rare.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't know they made this. It's published by LJN. Yeah, like I said, Rare all over this. Because Rare made Wizards and Warriors, which Kuros comes from. They also made, I think, the NES port of Narc, which Mr. Big and Max Force both come from. So their fingerprints are all over this.
Were you also confused by the gameplay of this Nightmare on Elm Street thing?
Yeah.
And how there was a second guy sometimes and then he would immediately die?
Yeah, I've never actually seen this Nightmare on Elm Street game before. I actually started wondering if maybe it was cancelled before it, like, maybe they advertised it and then it got cancelled because I've never heard of it.
It was too bad.
Looked interesting. I want to see how it works.
Why is there two guys and why does one suck?
I don't know. When they first started talking about it, I thought it was actually going to be the Friday the 13th NES game, which is very famous.
Yeah, but what's he got to do with nightmares?
Nothing really, but, you know. I just didn't know there was a Nightmare on Elm Street game for the NES. But I know all about the Friday the 13th one, which is notoriously stupid hard.
Yeah, that sounds like a Nintendo game.
Yeah, that's it. Johnny Arcade gives us an idea of what to expect from him tomorrow. We had this last time. Like, he always says he's going to be back tomorrow, and I don't know if this show was actually airing daily or not. But it sounds like it was.
He's just back in your dreams. He learned from Freddy.
And he keeps talking about... I remember in the first episode, he talked about how they were going to have like interviews with game developers and stuff. And none of that's happened yet. So I don't know if it ever does. But we'll see. I know for season 2, they completely retooled the show and made it a game show. And they actually had kids on. Yeah, wait, in the first episode, wasn't he asking people to write to them?
Oh, I don't remember. You know that.
I think he was asking people to write in with their, like, game questions. I guess none of the letters made it to them yet. I mean, I know this show flopped hard.
We have to get at least one episode where he reads fan letters.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I just don't know that any children were watching this.
We're the only people that have ever watched this show.
I mean, nobody knows when the episodes aired. Nobody knows who played Spike or Joe.
Us and the mysterious child that recorded this in Minneapolis are the only people that have ever watched this. And we thank you, Minneapolis child.
Yeah. Were you a big fan of Quirk? Like, what? I feel like Quirk's the only character that you could recognize on sight in this show.
I feel like Quirk would be the only character I would care about as a child, because the rest of them are just, like, boring human adults. And
Yeah, they're
one of
just
them's
dudes.
a tomato with a mohawk.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, all the others are just guys.
Yeah.
There's not even, like, Link is an interesting guy. But there's no Link here. I don't know, Tyrone's not interesting. Max Force seems like he's supposed to be the leader, but he's the least interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen him lead anything.
No. Yeah, Quirk's the only real reason to be here, and he's annoying. Maybe he's just
He's
annoying.
the worst!
Like, maybe I wouldn't find him annoying if I was a child. I don't know.
So what you're saying is that this is now a Quirk fan podcast.
Maybe it is, Mel. Maybe I need Quirk fan art on my desk by 9 o'clock.
Is that more or less important than the pictures of Spider-Man?
I'm going to say it's more, because you still haven't produced a single picture of Spider-Man, and my attention is waning.
Listen, he just doesn't want to hang out, okay?
Peter Parker keeps giving me the pictures. Where's yours? What's your excuse?
I've tried following Peter Parker around, but then, like, I lose sight of him, and all of a sudden it's Spider-Man. What's up with that, huh?
And why aren't you taking pictures?
Because I'm so bedazzled.
Oh.
I'm so dazzled by the sun, and I just start blasting.
I'm playing Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis on stream right now.
Yeah.
And every time I get stuck, I just start whipping everything. And it's amazing how often it works.
Just like in real life.
Quite often, when I've feel like I've exhausted all my options and I haven't figured out what the solution to the puzzle is, it turns out it's because the solution to the puzzle was to whip something.
Anytime I start whipping things randomly, I just find turkeys in the wall. Sometimes it's a secret room, but it's usually just turkey.
The mistake you're making is that when you use the whip, you're not going da 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 da, because that's
true.
That does change things.
Usually I'm going da 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 da, and it's not the same. I've learned.
No, if I was doing that whipping as Indiana Jones, I probably would find chickens and turkeys. Sometimes a heart.
You might accidentally whip a Dracula.
What do the hearts do? Tell me this, because they don't heal
hearts? No, hearts are like magic points.
Oh.
But it depends on the Castlevania, because some Castlevanias you do actually have like magic. And then hearts are more like magic points for item use. So like when you throw an axe or something that uses hearts.
Because I'm always low on health and I'm like, ooh, a heart, and it doesn't heal me. And I feel like the exact same thing happens in Kid Icarus as well, now that I think about it. I think that also uses hearts as a currency of some kind, and they don't heal you.
Hearts are health points for your throwable items.
Yeah.
The Bible needs hearts. Just like in real life, you have to feed hearts to your Bible so that it is imbued with the power of Jesus and you can fight Dracula.
That might have got me to go to church as a kid. If they were like, no, you gotta come on Sunday, otherwise how will you fight Dracula? I would have been like, oh, well, I don't want to be found wanting if Dracula comes to my house.
Don't you want to know how to stave off vampires? The light of Christ is the only way.
See, that's the kind of thing that would have got me as a kid, because I didn't believe in vampires, but I would say agnostic about vampires.
Vampire agnostic.
Yeah. So I would have been like, look, I don't think vampires are real, but what if?
Just in case.
Yeah. I had a lot of stuff like that when I was a kid. I would there were different superstitions where I would be like, that's obviously ridiculous and stupid, but I'm still not going to step on any cracks just in case.
Listen, you don't need to be religious to kill a vampire. You just need to be religious for crosses to be effective against them.
Well, you know what? I don't think we can polish this turd any shinier if we tried.
No.
I was just going to say bye, and then I was like, wait, there are actually things we have to say at the end. I forgot.
We failed to properly wrap this up. We got too distracted by Dracula, as usual.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. As always. Sorry that we missed a couple weeks. I was away. But I'm back now, and you can't stop me any again.
It's true. I tried. I got so used to sitting around on my fat butt doing nothing. And then Mike shows up, and he cracks the whip, and he does the Castlevania music, and turkeys appear from the walls, and I forgot where I was going with this.
I'm gonna announce right now, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday soon, we're gonna do a movie episode to make up for the time away.
Yeah, he did threaten me with that. He's like, I'm gonna go on vacation, and when I get back, I'm putting you to work.
Yeah, we're gonna watch a movie. I haven't decided what movie, but we're gonna have a Popcorn Friends coming right up.
And don't you worry, I'm gonna shriek about it for days.
We're gonna have a or as soon as we stop recording, we're gonna have a discussion about what movie we're gonna watch.
None. No movies.
Thank you, as always, to our weird freaks, Natalie No, Mark Kelly, and Jamie Kaur, and our Club Mesmeron, Eugene Lattig.
Thank you.
Thank you. You make this show happen more frequently than it would if you weren't here.
It's true. You hold the fire to our butts, because otherwise we would not.
If you'd like to join the Weird Freaks, you can head over to patreon.com/superbreakfastfriendsclub and check out the membership options and the secret bonus episodes for members. You know, I never mentioned this, and I probably should, but you actually don't have to sign up for a recurring Patreon membership to get access to those episodes. There is another way you can access them. I didn't even know that. No, I always forget to say. But you can actually purchase them individually for $3 each, which is the lowest I'm allowed to set the price.
That's rude.
Patreon won't let me set it any lower, but
I want to set it for one thin dime.
if you feel like listening to us ramble for an hour is worth $3, and you want to hear us talk about Shadow Generations Dark Beginnings, or maybe Talking Friends, or Pokemon Generations,
Or Bright Falls.
or Bright Falls, yeah, or Chow in Space, that was another one,
Too many Sonics.
Angry Birds Tunes.
We did watch that, yeah.
You can; those are all available for $3 each, or just all available as part of a membership of the Patreon at any level. I'm pretty sure you can access them at any level. If not, I'm gonna check and make sure that you can. You should be able to access them at any level. I'm Mike, Skull Pirate Mike. Some deign to call me.
No one deigns.
I consider it an insult. However, it is.
However, that is my personal branding.
I'm just trying to reclaim it.
They called me Tails to make fun of me. Who's laughing now?
Yeah, I stream on Twitch and YouTube now.
Whoa.
You can find me on Blue Sky, often complaining about things.
That sounds like you.
Yeah, right now I am in the middle of a marathon of all the LucasArts point-and-click adventure games. As previously mentioned, I am up to Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis as of this recording. And then I'll be moving on to Day of the Tentacle and Sam and Max, which are some of my favorites they ever made. Although I've already done Monkey Island 1 and 2 and Maniac Mansion, the recordings are still up and available on YouTube if you want to go back and watch me struggle. It's tough with I've played through the Monkey Island games so many times, but I think some of the puzzles are made harder when you half remember them.
Yeah.
Because I forget how you're supposed to find out the solutions, and I don't remember the whole solution. So
I have that problem when I go back to play old Phoenix is Right. I remember who all of the villains are, but it's the middle chapters where I'm like, wait, how do we get there though?
Right, yeah. Well, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Bye! If you had to give a sweaty post-workout hug to any member of the power team, which one would it be?
I mean, it would probably have to be Quirk, because I want to know what a human man tomato feels like.
I was gonna ask, do you think he sweats tomato juice?
That would be revolting.
Yeah.